You've probably heard of MMA and ultimate fighting.
Yeah, despite its growing popularity, mixed martial arts is not allowed in the state of Connecticut, but now that could be changing.
Chief Political Correspondent Mark Davis joins us live with more on the push for MMA. Mark?
Hi, Sonia and Darren. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. Some say this sends a terrible, violent message to young people, but others say we can't afford to lose the business. The almost no-holds-barred mixed martial arts has developed a huge following and by some measures is one of the fastest-growing sports. Unlike the WWE, which has a very young following, MMA, as it's called, appeals to older young adult men in the 18 to 35-year-old demographic.
MMA as a sport has been gaining popularity, not just regionally, nationally, but literally worldwide.
The fights are held in arenas around the country, in every state except New York and Connecticut. Some are held at the state's 2 Indian casinos, but are banned elsewhere in the state. The operators of the XL Center in Hartford and here at the Harbor Yard Complex in Bridgeport say the fights would bring in a lot of money and create a lot of work.
One show in our building would have a multiple six-figure effect on the state alone. Between the ticket tax, there's a supplemental tax that is on MMA product. The economic impact on downtown Bridgeport would be huge.
The move to bring MMA to Connecticut has gained the support of the Speaker of the House. And after several years of discussion, that's why it is now moving ahead despite some moral opposition.
It's actually brutal, it's bloody, and I don't think it's a message that I personally think we should be sending.
And that's the basic argument of those that voted against this in committee.
I just think since what happened in Connecticut on December 14th that I don't think the state should be promoting violence. To me, it's not like a real sport.
But the Speaker notes the jobs and economic impact and the fact that the events would be regulated like professional boxing.
We know that it's already happening privately and secretly in other places. This would essentially regulate the sport for the first time in Connecticut, which would make it a much safer sport.
Now, the House of Representatives is expected to begin debate on this issue very, very shortly, perhaps within the next hour. Now, organized labor here in Connecticut has been opposing this because the principal promoter of these fights has had some difficult labor issues out in Las Vegas. But those pushing for it here in Connecticut note that if the games came here, or the sport came here, many union jobs would be created, or at least some union employees would get a lot more work at the XL Center here in Hartford and at the Harbor Yard Complex in Bridgeport. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.